What do you want to talk about this week, Amir?
Same thing we talk about every week, Eric. Where do I buy my apples from?
Live to tape from Vancouver, it's Eric's Living Room, a show best listened to in the nude, featuring Amir Ali. And now, the man who still hasn't paid me for voicing these intros, here is your host, Eric Chapman.
Green apples are the best.
No. Oh my God. Welcome
Granny
to the living
Smith.
room. I'm Eric. He's Amir. No.
Yeah.
No.
I also learned from Matt MacArthur, who used to work with us at CKNW, that they give you just as much of an energy boost as coffee. He used to just eat green apples for his early morning shifts, and they gave him a little boost.
Stop your mouth.
Spike.
That's not real.
That's absolutely. I'll Google it for you right now.
No,
and I'll
wait,
tell
no,
you.
don't Google
No,
it.
I'm just doing it.
No, it's fine.
No.
I had no idea. What is it?
Green
Is it
apple
caffeine?
energy.
Is there
coffee.
caffeine? Okay, but don't wiggle the table because
I'm
it'll
so
shake the
sorry.
cameras.
Can an apple really give you more energy than a cup of coffee?
How?
The bottom line is an apple can give you more energy than coffee.
How? Sugar?
Will it be sugar? But it will come from sugar.
Yeah.
But it's natural sugar.
But what does that mean? What does that even mean?
It just means it's
Natural sugar.
better for you to have an apple than to drink a cup of coffee. I don't know about better.
I don't
Coffee's
know about
got health
because if it's the
benefits,
sugar,
too.
then sugar. I think that's bullshit. Sugar.
But green apples are the best.
No, and that's bullshit too, man. I don't know what kind of apples they are, but they're red.
There's
Green
so
apples are for
many.
cooking. That's it. You put them in a pie.
Shit.
Oh.
Do you regret getting a vasectomy?
No, I
How
don't.
long ago was that? Like 5 years?
2018 it would have
So
been.
6 years.
So
Wow.
I got a vasectomy live on the radio in 2018, mostly because it was for free and I wanted to get one. And to Amir's point, I've wanted one for a very long time because I've always never wanted kids. At one point in my life, I had a fiance and I pretended like I wanted kids,
Oh, you don't pretend to do that.
which would have been awful.
Little chappies running around.
Oh, can you imagine?
Eric Jr. That would have been his name.
So yeah, I had thought about it for many years prior, and I knew that if I ever had a child, I would want to adopt and or foster kids, and do whatever I can to. It's just like a dog. There's a lot of kids out there that need parents and stuff. It's foster, don't impregnate.
Well, you already have poop bags, so you're one step ahead of the game. For
Yeah.
having
Isn't
a
that what you
kid.
do with kids? You just walk behind them with a poop bag?
Yeah.
Just let them poop in it? There you go. See, I shouldn't have
That's
kids.
not how it works.
It is how it works.
You let them poop on the ground.
It can't.
And then you pick it up.
Right.
Your poop, what the hell?
Sorry.
You follow your dog around with your poop bag?
No, I guess I don't.
Jesus.
Because I wouldn't want the kid to poop on the floor in the house. Because you're not
Not
going
in
to take
the house.
the
You
kid
take them outside.
You take him out to like a dog?
Yeah,
Oh my
to
God.
poop.
See, that's a lot of work. I already take Teeny out once a day. That'd be like 5 times a day I'd be out taking poops. Let alone my poops. That's another one a day.
You use poop bags for that too?
No. I poop in the toilet like a normal
Alright.
human. I'm in and out in less than 2 minutes every time.
Wow.
I time it.
Someone drinks a lot of coffee.
No, I don't. It's not it. I'm just really regular. I poop once a day, and I've trained
You
myself to
stop
be.
talking about poop now.
Why?
I'm good.
Okay, so mental health check. Last week we talked about anger and how forgiveness isn't always necessary and it's okay not to forgive. And we also discussed anger and how, it's okay to be angry too. But sometimes I feel like I come off self-righteous or like, better. So I was thinking about what I said last week and pondering it. And not that I'm better for thinking about it either. Don't email me or email me. Hi, how you doing? I don't know. I'm not giving out my email. though.
Eric@hotmail.com.
I got an email from someone with a Hotmail address recently.
Like, are you from the 1960s?
And I wanted to delete it just because I was like, is there a tracker on this? Like, am I getting infested just because you're on Hotmail? Anyway, so anger. And I talked about how it's okay, but I've been getting real angry lately. So I thought it'd be a good time to talk about and a follow-up to talk about anger that I can't control because I'm not perfect and I don't want to sound self-righteous when I talk about these things. And there is anger that I can't control. And lately it's been against like politicians and political commentators and their comments on things. And I just find myself getting so fucking fired up at their stupidity, and I'm convinced that politicians are the worst of us. And even a local politician got promoted this week. They're up for a by-election. We don't even need to talk about names because we don't need to go there with it. I just want to give examples of politics. But there's a politician that, went from civic and now they're going for a federal seat or a provincial seat. They're moving up in politics. And it's like, okay, well, so you're a political politician. So how many decisions have you made that were based on your political aspects and your job and not the people? So, like, politicians are the worst of us. And I just find myself getting so fucking fired up. And sometimes it's sitting with me, dude, for like 2 hours, 3 hours of the day.
That's too much.
And I'm finding a hard time letting go of that anger. But it's not like super frequent, don't get me wrong, but it is. I'm noticing it happening like once a week.
You've said a lot, but I'm like focusing on one thing, and it was like your idea of like feeling self-righteous. Don't you hate feeling self-righteous?
I hate it.
Yeah, I hate it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. I think a lot about politicians and the positions they have and where are we right now. But yeah, so you're just like sitting in that anger for 2 hours and stewing about it?
Yeah, and I'll still go throughout my day and do normal things, but I find, it blocks creativity. It blocks, positive thought because I'm sitting there fucking just beefing over it all. Like massive sausage over it. And it's so frustrating, and I'm finding it difficult to, get out of it quickly. And I think a lot of it, I just have so much to say about it, and there's no one around to listen.
Well, now there are. I think you're not alone. I think there's a lot of people right now that are angry about a lot of things and are also stewing because the stuff that you're maybe angry about is impacting people's lives in real ways, right? A lot of people can't even afford basic shit now.
Yeah, but and see, you know what? You're right. They are, because people are getting so angry and blaming politicians for, say, gas prices. Like, I know the carbon tax is there, and it increased our gas prices by like 3 cents, and gas fluctuates by like 20 cents, 30 cents at times. And gas prices are determined by crude oil and supply and demand and the greediness of Petrocan and the other companies, not politicians. But I find people getting so angry and so confused. And then I guess it has me reflecting on myself as well, being like, well, am I just getting angry about shit? Do I sound like the nutballs? You know what I mean?
No,
like,
you don't.
When I think about this stuff and say it, like, am I like to the other extreme on the other side? And I'm not saying left or right, because that's bullshit too. I hate being labeled a liberal or a conservative.
It's so dumb.
So yeah, that's where I go with it. It's just a lot of introspective shit, I guess. I'm getting through this anger.
Also, just be careful. Petro is one of our sponsors. So.
Oh shit, sorry.
Yeah.
15 cents off with a coupon. Get the lotto ticket,
Petro
PCLC, know your limit, play within it.
I have also been in a similar, for my mental health check, a similar sort of place that you're getting this anger from, but I'm getting to this point now where it's just like, I don't like using this term because I don't think this is how I actually feel, but I'm getting a little bit numb to all of the garbage going on, because it just feels like I'm turning 36 in a couple weeks.
But how old did you think you were turning?
35. So I'm turning 2 years older in 1 year.
Now, really quick, remember what we're talking about right here and go back to it. But was that like a weird kind of like daylight savings sort of thing?
No, it was just a random fucking Wednesday, and I was walking to work, and I was like thinking about, oh, wow, I'm 34. That's old. And I was like, wait, no, hold on. This year is 2023. I know it's 2024 now, but at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, wait, I'm 35. And it was just a trip. I couldn't even, it's like I skipped a year for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, what the
Yeah, okay, anyways.
Now I forget what
you were supposed to remember.
I know.
I told you.
Damn it.
You were talking about things you're getting mad at.
Yeah, so I'm getting a little bit numb to it all now, I feel
numb.
like. Because as I was mentioning my age, I've been seeing this happen for now 35 years. It keeps happening. The same things happen. The elections keep happening, and the same problems keep growing. Why am I to think now suddenly one election out of these ones that I've seen for the last 35 years is going to change anything, regardless of who I vote for? Some things might change here and there, but the overall problems, are we going to fix housing because of this election? Is my food suddenly going to get cheaper next year? I don't think so. So,
And that's a part of it too. Like, I wish that we could all unanimously and in a solidarity sort of a democratic way best we can. And there's a way to do it. It's called spoiling your ballot. If we could get enough Canadians to go, whatever that number would be, to spoil our ballot and not vote for anybody, just to be able to send a message that none of you are good enough. And that's why I hate the label stuff. Because it's like, then he's like, you support this guy, you support that guy, you support this person, that woman. It's like, no. It's just, I don't have, like, it's like I have 4 pieces of shit, and they're all exactly the same looking. And I just have to pick one.
and it's not even like
there's nothing good about any of them.
I made the point of saying that this was like the same thing that's been happening since I was born, but it's not true. It's not the same. It's getting worse.
It's getting worse.
Because
It
now,
feels worse.
yeah, because now if the so-called right wins, now it feels like there's this whole army now that has won the power between, again, this right and left, and we're already so divisive, and this is just going to make everything even more divisive.
Yeah, it's supposed to be us against them, all of us. Like, we can all disagree and be like, no, we don't agree, but we got to talk about that some more. But right now, see that politician over there? We need to discuss this to get rid of that or move this around, and then we'll get to that. Like, that's how it should be.
This
For
is
God's
this is how they
sakes.
want it, though, because it's
Yeah,
that whole
that's
concept
right.
of like divide and conquer. If we're
That's it.
divided and we're scared of everything, then we're more able to be controlled.
Yeah, yeah.
One other way you can cause change, according to some people anyways, is a boycott.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been a fan of boycotting anything because I maybe don't think it'll do anything. But that being said, I think, passively boycott a lot of things that I don't find to be okay. And it's like Amazon, for example. Like I was telling Eric earlier that I've only shopped there once in like the last 2 to 5 years. I don't ever shop on Amazon. I bought something from there recently, but it's
Me neither. I've only done it once or twice in my life.
but right now there's a huge boycott that's brewing against a major food distributor or company. I can't say their name because they're one of our sponsors. I'm just kidding. It's Loblaws.
Get your No Frills brand. Go to Jyoti's. Oh, it's good stuff.
Even TNT, I didn't realize. I love TNT, and they're owned by Loblaws.
Everything's owned by one person. Like, yeah, like we could just assume that.
But people are
Yeah.
boycotting Loblaw stores because of their price gouging and because of how much profit they're making. I don't know. I hope it does something.
What's it gonna do?
That's again my question is what does it do? And I have a little bit of angst towards this idea of boycotting Loblaws. Not that I'm saying don't, but why are we doing so much else with our money and our wallets to support blank companies that maybe are also deserving of a boycott? I think of a company like Apple. And I've got an iPhone, but I didn't buy it. I got it for free.
Yeah.
Why do people support a company like Apple, knowing all of the things that Apple has done, in terms of like the labor that they use in China and all that kind of stuff? Why aren't we boycotting these companies? So that's where I go when we have this big, fight against one company. It's like, well, there's so much else going on. Is it just like the most convenient fight to fight right now, maybe?
Yeah, man. Oh, that's so fucking loaded. Because you're so right. Like, I love a good protest.
Me too.
And I love a good stand up and fuck you.
And I've been to many protests myself, actually.
Yeah, have you? Yeah. I've only covered them. I've only gone to one or two.
I've gone to some like animal rights protests.
Okay.
obviously.
But still, no, that's awesome that you did that. I think I even been to one before. Anyways, so I don't think that it does anything. So I don't think we should do things like boycotts because they've got us stuck in this spot of I need to go to No Frills to shop because it's all I can afford. Like that, and it's the first people I'll tell people that newly become poor. It's like, look in your fridge. If you have anything brand name, get rid of it. You're saving a lot of money. So it's like, I'm going to do that. And yeah, like you can't not use those products without being on the fringe. Because I try to not use Google search.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you something. It is awful.
Yeah.
And it is really difficult. You have to use this one for that. Like MSN and Bing are awful. And Google search is just, it's really good because everybody uses it. And so again, unless we can get everybody to act like in the Democratic stance I just said, like spoiling their ballot, to just stop using Google. Like I stopped using Google. I use a pay service. I use Proton Mail. Well, they have free accounts too, but I get like a bunch of gigabytes of storage. And it takes people actively doing things like that to boycott it, which I'm doing, which is a boycott, which again, I don't think it's going to do anything. I just feel good doing it. So there you go.
Yeah.
How about that? That's why I do it. Because it just gives me, and I try to make my circle pleasant and what I want it to be. And if I don't expect my opinion or what I do to change anybody or anybody's thoughts, I just know that what I'm going to do is right in the best way possible. And that's all I can do. And so I'm going to continue to do that. Like H&M, the Uyghur labor, I don't go to H&M. And they got lame shit anyways. Let's be real. They're not sponsoring us anymore.
We lost H&M?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think about that from the standpoint of clothes a lot as well, man. Some of the places that our clothes come from and what our clothes in some cases are doing to the planet is pretty fucked up.
And like people getting too rich. Like,
well, that's actually,
how do you stop that?
Well, that's exactly what I was going to ask about. So there was a thread about this Loblaws thing earlier, and how
blah, blah.
the Weston family, Galen Weston and his dad and the family, are worth about $8.7 billion. Okay. And obviously it's not just straight cash. There's like shares and how all that stuff works in the corporate world. But some people are making this point about like nobody needs $8.7 billion. So my question to you is, if you found this mechanism of making money and you knew if you just kept doing it, because they accrue this wealth apparently over the last 100 years, so it didn't happen instantly. But if you knew that you're not going to have a family, so maybe it's not a good question. I
might adopt.
You might adopt.
Right.
So if you could accrue this kind of money, it can keep growing even to the point of like, say $1 billion. Would you get to this point of, say, maybe you're at 100 million? You're like, okay, I'm good. I'm going to stop now.
No, 100%. I need 7 million to live the rest of my life. I've done the math.
So you would stop?
I do it all the time.
So you get to that point and be like,
as soon as I got there, I'm good. I'm out. I don't need more than this. And like 7 million to like live comfortably when I retire and stuff like that. Work till then.
That seems more than enough.
And well, I want a lot of things. And this is my dream thing, right? This is just a dream. I know this isn't reality.
7 million.
But it would be 7, because I've thought about this exact thing. 100%. And yes, I would stop. And even in the things that I like get, I don't want to, like, I have no one to, like you said, I have no one to leave anything to. So I'm not concerned with even debt. And so when I think of things, I think of like ways to like try and do like reconciliation and like try and battle colonialism by like, if I ever get the chance to buy land, I would purchase land. And this would be my dream. Again, I have lots of money. Money's not an object. I have enough money. I'd buy the land. I'd give it back to the indigenous of the area. And then I'd buy that land from the indigenous and live on it. So I've given them their land back as best possible. And now I'm going to buy it so it's theirs. And then it would be left to them in my will. Everything would just go to them. And that's to it too. Like I would leave everything to whoever, like if I maybe had a partner, they would get in, they can do whatever, but I don't need it to go on for generations.
Well, that's lame. I would keep it going. I want to be able to afford the moon. I'm going to buy the moon, colonize it.
What's on the moon that you want?
I'm going to build a city on the moon. It's going to be called Amir City.
Amir City.
Yeah, and if you have enough money, you can come live on the moon with me.
How much?
It's going to be like $1 million to around $1 million a month for rent on the moon.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but I mean...
But you don't own the moon. No one can own the moon.
I'm going to make enough money to own the moon.
You're going to buy the moon?
You don't think Jeff Bezos is going to own the moon one day?
Do you think that'll happen?
I think it will. I think we're going to capitalize on space that way. And
oh my God.
Be moon colonies and moon bases. And
I mean, I like the thought of going to the moon, but not if it's Jeff Bezos' moon.
It's going to be the Amazon moon, baby.
But the Amazon is in the Amazon.
Yeah, but he's Jeff Bezos. He can do
no,
whatever
he would
wants.
name it Bezosville or Bezos Land.
Just call it Bezos. That has like a space vibe to it.
Dude, that's totally a planet sound. That's great, man.
Planet Bezos.
That sounds straight out of Marvel. Planet Bezos.
I'm coming, man.
Ew.
I'm gonna buy it from you with all my wealth.
So really, you want a lot of money and shit?
No, I was kidding.
Oh, okay.
I would. Yeah, I think I'd be able to stop too.
I thought you were serious.
No. There's a part of me that might want that, but that part of me is a small part of me.
I don't think you've convinced yourself of that,
No,
man.
I actually
Let's talk
haven't.
about this.
No, let's not. You cut the tape.
No, man.
I don't want to dig into the side.
You
of
want
me.
you want to be a so stinking rich, and like have a big wedding? Do you want a big wedding?
No.
Indian wedding?
No, definitely not
Come
an Indian
on,
wedding.
man.
I would have a very small wedding, invite like 15 to 20 people that I really care about,
Yeah. So you wouldn't
You
invite
wouldn't
me?
be there.
No, absolutely.
and yeah, that's it. Just something small.
But you'd have a lot of money.
I'd have a ton of money. I'd be the fanciest
You'd
small
have your wedding
wedding
on the moon.
of all. That would be great.
Oh, actually, that'd be fucking awesome.
That'd be because you know how people say like "I love you to the moon and back."
Yeah.
Boom! I'm gonna take you to the
shit,
moon with
the
my love.
ultimate gesture.
We're not coming back though.
But then you're a douche.
Why?
Well, because it's so fucking arrogant. Like, it's the moon, bro. Who needs the fucking moon? Do you really need the moon?
That's how much I love her. I'm gonna give her the moon.
But what's she gonna do with it, really?
Oh, she'd be the queen of the moon.
There's nothing there.
Shut up, man.
It's Bezos, too, not the moon.
Right, sorry. Planet Bezos. Even though it's not a planet, it's a moon.
It's been downgraded. It's like Pluto. It's been downgraded. Once Bezos takes over, it's not a moon. It's just an
Bezos.
asteroid. It's not the moon anymore. All right, what do you want to talk about next week?
Same thing we talk about every week, Eric. How do I make my billions to buy the moon?
Bezos.
Bezos. The Bezos.
Jeffrey.